And by good governance, as a political scientist, I know that the indicators of good governance are transparency, accountability, due process, inclusivity, tolerance of opposing views, financial frugality, policies that factor in the human element, that is, humane policies, respect for the arms of government, people-centered policies, and of course, the driving force itself, which is personal integrity, propelled through personal example. So in all these, there is one thread running through all of them. Holding them together is one big word called good governance. It is not enough to judge any government, not just that of Abia State, by the physical things they have seen, which the eyes have seen. But we need to go beyond that and ask ourselves, what are the principles of good governance? And to what extent is our governor keeping tabs with these principles, these indicators of good governance like transparency, accountability? To what extent has the governor kept faith? Most of these things were reduced in his campaign promises. And these campaign promises were many, because he spent many years wanting to be governor and we heard him well. And I want to believe that it was based on these promises of the things he was going to do that Abians were forced to think that there was a need to give somebody else an opportunity to showcase the difference he was going to bring into the governance system of Abia State. And I would want to assess governorship based on the principles of good governance, the indicators I have mentioned. So I believe that in the course of this interview, I would want you to hold me responsible by taking me step by step on the indicators of good governance, and let us see how far our governor, Dr. Oti, has fared in keeping to his promises. He said a lot of things during his campaign promises. He promised pensioners that he was going to clear all the backlog of pensions, and that it doesn't matter what the amount is, but he would rather borrow. And later on, when he became governor, he went to the United States of America and told a world, probably in a world press conference, that he had cleared a backlog of 90-year pensions, spending over 17 billion. Now, the question is, why do we still have pension issues? Because as I'm talking to you now, Abia State is the only state in the southeast, that much I am sure, and probably in the whole Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is still having issues with pension backlog. The governor of Ebonyi State came out to make a declaration that he has cleared all pension backlog, spanning a period of 12 years back. And this was a state that was governed by Umahi that we praised. So we now know that this issue of pension backlog was not peculiar to Abia because of the kind of revenue that was accruing to governors at those moments. We saw what the man at Enugu said. He said he has cleared all pension backlog and that he will clear all gratuity before this year runs out. In other words, he has gone deep into paying backlogs of gratuity. Of course, the Anambra case is a very sterling example. So in all this, what has our governor done in keeping to his promises? Because one of the cornerstone of good governance is keeping to your promises. If I tell you I'm going to climb the mountain if you elect me as governor, and I become governor, I refuse to even attempt to climb a hill, then I have betrayed those who voted me in. So I think I would want to stop here and ask you to challenge me by asking me to assess Alex Oti based on the principles of good governance, which he swore to uphold. I think from there we can take it.
All right, Dr. Orji. The government came in with marching order in certain sectors in the state. We'll get to that point. But let us look at the issue with regards to a pension and pensioners in Abia State. The last time the governor spoke on this issue, of course, he told us that precisely should be when he had Dr. Alex Oti speaks to facing with the leadership of the NUP, that at the moment then, that they were having a national either program also. Is it not still a way in ensuring that he addresses this issue that has to do with pensioners in Abia State?
Okay, Ben, I'm happy you know about this development. Yes, the governor, while speaking, said he no longer wants to deal with the leadership of the pensioners in Abia, that he is waiting for the national to conduct election. Whenever they conduct election, even if it is in 2028, that is when he will now have a recourse to reconsidering the issue of pension. Now, let us begin by saying that Governor has deceived us. For him to say that he has cleared a backlog, not that the pensioners had forfeited, because the document states that they have forfeited, but he went abroad to say that he has cleared a backlog, and he quoted the amount of money that was involved. So we can now begin to ask, if you said you had cleared a backlog and you have stated the amount, why not use that money and start begin? Have you misappropriated it? You cannot tell me you've cleared a 9-year backlog, and now you are saying you are waiting for pensioners at the national level to conduct their election, so that a new leadership that will negotiate with you will emerge. Then, only then, will you revisit the issue of pensioners. Meanwhile, the value of these pensions are depreciating every day. Some of them are just about 5,000 a month. Some are 12, some are 20 or 30. And 30,000 naira 4-5 years ago is not 30,000 naira today. And you are still punishing these elder statesmen. You are still punishing these citizens. And you see, oftentimes I get emotional about governors that don't consider the human element in their policies. What on earth will prevent our governor, with the kind of money that he is raking in now on a monthly basis? Why would he still hold the pensioners at the jugular? I don't think it is very sensitive. It is most insensitive for Governor to tell us that he is waiting for the national to conduct the elections and then that he will revisit the issue. And you remember that he said he was done with the issue of pensioners. In other words, we were not crying wolf. It has now been established that Governor really misappropriated the pension fund, and out of shame he said he wasn't going to revisit it. But of course he couldn't have said that in the presence of certain persons, and he said he was going to revisit it. For him to continue to delay and to wait for the national means that he lacks that sincerity of purpose to deal with this problem that touches on the human element. The living condition of pensioners should be a priority to a caring governor, and not just all these flamboyant white elephant projects that dot the headlines, make all the noise, but we are just moving around and we are not going anywhere. I think the governor should step down from his high horse and look at those issues that touch on the lives of the daily lives of our people and deal with them. And this issue of pension has been so overflowed that I doubt if the governor could be so insensitive now. Nobody knows the kind of man this man will turn to if he's given a second term. Because the first time is often a probationary period to see how well you can do. For a governor that continues to untwist pensioners, continue to untwist salary earners, who are then going to be the beneficiary of the good governance that he wants, of the project that he wants to initiate in the state? I think the governor should be scored very, very low when it comes to dealing with the human element. He has been very, very insensitive to the welfare of the poor workers. Because, to tell you the truth, anybody that is today on a fixed salary at the end of the month should be pitied on a pension. So for you to delay paying them is that you are wishing them death. They are gradually dying and their number is thinning. It's most unfortunate, my brother.
All right, let's deal with the specifics this morning. When the government of Dr. Alex Otti came in, it took a marching order in certain sectors, talking about waste management, road infrastructure, health, education, of course, the ease of doing business. Don't you think that within these 2 years in office, that there is a reflection of governance in these sectors given his marching orders?
All right. You mentioned the education. I am one person that will admit it when I say the truth. On the issue of waste management, the governor has performed creditably well. And I live in Aba, and I go around. At least, if not elsewhere, on the major roads, you will see that there is a remarkable improvement on on the issue of waste management. Refuse is being evacuated promptly, giving no room for them to stay and decay and mess up the environment. That much I acknowledge, no doubt about that. But I don't think the governor has performed very well elsewhere. Maybe you can give him some pass mark on infrastructure, because whether we like it or not, the governor made a state that was far better than what his predecessor made. You people don't even know that I was a staunch supporter of Governor Alex Otti in 2015. This was because in 2014, when I was coming back from Lagos for the burial of my uncle, my father's most junior brother, I arrived at Osisiomangwa at 5 p.m. We couldn't drive past Osisiomangwa, where you now have a flyover, until it was around 9 p.m. And by the time we got to MCC, we were still held back. After MCC, we got to Bata, or rather Brass, from Brass to Bata, from Bata to Ukeburu to Popo Junction. By the time I got to my house, it was already 10 minutes past 10, and I couldn't be part of the wake keep. So I was so bitter. The former governor Okezi Ikpeazu inherited a very terrible very terrible terrain, both politically and infrastructure wise. So that is not the kind of situation Otti inherited. So when Otti came out, I joined him. I felt that this state was not doing well. But we cannot say that was the situation when Otti came in. The whole of Osisiomangwa is cleared. You drive freely nowadays. So the things he has done has actually accentuated the beauty of the foundation laid by his predecessor. There is no two ways. You cannot stop telling the truth. The idea he made is far better than the idea his predecessor made. And so any little addition to what the foundation his predecessor laid would always give the impression that everywhere is okay. And to be honest, a lot of things are changing. We are experiencing a better environment. Very soon, he will commission the Port Harcourt Road. That's a significant project, and he has to take the kudos for it. And other places, he is completing the projects it has initiated, and the beauty of them are shining. You see, most of these things we're waiting for the finishing touches, and now these finishing touches are beginning to show. So I give him a remarkable pass mark when it comes to the issue of infrastructure, except that there is always a snag, and that is at what cost are we reconstructing the physical environment. That is it. But beyond the road infrastructure, you also know that we are not doing well in the realm of education. Not quite long, our governor came out and announced that he has spent 54 billion naira in the educational sector to renovate schools. I bet you no Southeast governor has ever voted 54 billion on education in a year. But just for renovation of schools, our governor announced that the state has spent 54 billion naira to renovate public schools, and he wants to take credit for that as a landmark achievement on the educational front, But that is dubious, because the facts on ground show that the governor did not even renovate one school. I'm sorry to bring in the name of our brother, Nyewiche Memanka. There was a post he made about 3 months ago. And in that post, he queried how 54 billion naira could be spent to renovate schools. And nobody has seen any of those schools. And he went to 17 locations in Abia State, mentioned key individuals who are conscious of development in their area, and asked them to bring up a picture of any renovated school. So you see the level of fraud going on, and we are glamorizing over it is what baffles me. That is why I refuse to leave the trenches. After this thing was revealed, now the governor used his special advisor on media to come to the public to tell us that not that he has renovated the schools, but that the government has paid the contractors that will renovate the schools up front to avoid them from facing the vagaries of going to borrow from the banks, the consequence of inflation, and that will make them to come back to government to review the contract for an upward review of the. You see, when you see a lie, you don't even need to bring in a testing machine to know that it's a lie. But the truth is that when you post a figure on the budget performance website, it is meant to indicate that is an accomplished milestone. Those projects have been done, and this is the amount of money you spent in doing them. You don't say, I have renovated schools with 54 billion, and then you turn around and say, I gave the money to contractors, they will start work soon. So where are the works now? Have you seen any contractor doing job with 54 billion? People don't know what is 54 billion, for Christ's sake. 54 billion. I was telling my last grandchild, said, look, 1 billion is 100 million times 10. And then you are using 54 of it to renovate schools. And the whole of Abia State is not trembling. I don't know. The level of corruption in our state is so mind-boggling that I'm no longer angry with Governor Oti. I'm angry with the docile environment. People that have allowed their conscience to be dozing as if we are in the midnight of conscience. When we are being raped in the daylight, we continue to keep quiet and begin that by keeping quiet, we will show ourselves as gentlemen. My dear, I don't want to be a gentleman to a man who is out there to, rip me off at the expense of what is entirely my own. Because the money the governor is managing is our money. You cannot come and remove 54 billion of all amount. Remember that the Commissioner for Education, Professor Emeuche, had earlier removed 14 billion just for the same school renovation a year earlier in 2013. And now in 2014, the governor is removing 54 billion. And that now you want me to accord that as a landmark achievement in the education sector. It's unfortunate what is happening in Abia State. Frankly speaking, we are not helping ourselves the way we are condoning this level of mind-boggling corruption in our fair, because we need to. This thing is not happening anywhere. I've listened to criticism of other governors. I've never seen anybody, any opposition, confront the governor by saying that he is posting non-existent projects on the internet without doing anything. They may complain of contract inflation, but it is only in Abia that we hear of 7.6 billion naira being used to build a recreational facility, and you cannot see it anywhere. I watched the video of the Fun City by Charles Soludo. That is a recreational facility. Anybody can see it and see the value for money. If we are in Abia and we have seen what Soludo did in the name of recreational facility, which he called Fun City, why can't we ask questions? Where is our money? 7.6 billion naira taken far back, nearly 2 years ago.
All right, Dr. Orji.
To build recreational facilities, and we are seeing nothing. And the people are not asking questions. This same thing goes for agriculture. So when a governor is lying, we should be able to hold him to account. How can the governor tell me that he's removed 2.6 billion naira to buy improved agricultural seedlings so that yield will improve? And the governor, the former commissioner for agriculture, Professor Mrs. Monica Irokwe, wanted to find out how such a money passed through her ministry, and she was not called into the picture. And the governor advised her to resign rather than quarreling with her in the open. That she should resign.
Well, there was no write up to that effect that the governor actually directed the then commissioner to resign. So how do we?
Excuse me, sir. You mean the governor, the Mrs. Arunque, left her exalted position in the United States, came here to be commissioner, and in less than 1 year she has resigned, and you tell me it's just a joke? Okay, where are the improved agricultural seedlings? Today now, another performance of the governor is on the rise at Owerenta. I belong to a WhatsApp group. I went to University of Ife when it was University of Ife. The people there are making a mockery of me, asking me to bring the Owerenta rice when next I'm coming for old boys meeting. Now, you see, these things are going global. How can a governor come on? My mother is from Owerenta, and I've been there. And the people are laughing, and that a lot of people are coming to ask, where is Owerenta rice? Where are the rice fields or the rice mill? So how can we have you see, the problem with integrity is it speaks for itself. The things we say will expose us to ridicule, and we think that we are ridiculed. No. Nobody can ride roughshod over your reputation if your actions are not in congruence with what people are saying. So the governor is making a mockery of himself, and is relying on pig-headed minions in Aba to cheer him on. When intelligent people are seeing through what the deceit that is going on in Abia. I don't like what is happening. The summary of it all is that yes, the governor has done reasonably well in terms of refuse evacuation, even though he said he was going to bring in an industry that would, that will transform this waste management, and it will be recycled. But what we still see is normal evacuation of refuse, and I give him kudos for that. He's doing well there. He is also performing reasonably well in terms of infrastructural upgrade. But beyond that, I think our governor is not helping matters.
Right, we are due for a break. Just in 1 minute, you mentioned the Port Harcourt-Aba Road, and then you've appreciated the governor considering that to be a landmark project. But that said project has been generating reactions in terms of its costing. I don't know if we can have your reaction to that as well.
Oh, well, my reaction is, you see, simple truth everybody knows. And that's one of the simple truth is that I was at Port Harcourt Road yesterday before coming for this interview today. And in next to my conscience, it is a beauty to behold. You can't wish that away. Port Harcourt Road I saw is something anybody should celebrate. If for all the snag, all the stories around it, Port Harcourt Road today is one accomplished milestone that the governor can beat his chest and say, yes, I've done this. But beyond that, like you rightly said, it's not just enough to worship the God of Port Harcourt Road. You should be able to wake up, look behind and ask him, okay, how much did you cost? Yes, it's a very beautiful thing, we admit it, but Port Harcourt, at what cost were you built? That is the issue. So you cannot tell me that the federal government of Nigeria will be awarding a contract of 13-kilometer road at 20 billion naira, another 19-kilometer road at 25 billion naira, and you are doing a 6-kilometer road at 36-point-something billion, and you want us to celebrate it. Definitely speaking, something is wrong. I sincerely believe that the beauty of Port Harcourt Road has been messed up by the unconscionable cost attached to it.
All right,
I know that the game plan is to get people to be excited. The pig-headed minions will be celebrating Port Harcourt Road, and they don't know that they will be glamorizing the corruption behind it. Because if you spent maybe 18 to 20 billion to do a classical job at Port Harcourt Road, and you pocket an equivalent of that amount and push it to your signature bank, then you are doing havoc to my conscience if I simply want to rely on praising Port Harcourt Road.
Dr. Orji,
it is very wrong.
Dr. Orji, where did you get the information or evidence that he's been pushing money to signature bank? Well, we'll get your reaction on this. We are due for a break. This is Abia Democrats. When we return, there are other issues we'll raise up on this program. Just do well to stay with us.
I can't get enough. It's just the right amount of sweetness. Just the right crunch. Mini-Me Chin Chin is different. Table manners? Forget that. Mini-Me Chin Chin tastes really good. You just have to indulge. It's worth every crunch. Can I have one more? And maybe another one. And another one? And another one. And another one. Mini-Me Chin Chin. Now available in a 150-gram Boku pack. Mini-Me. Taste the fun.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them.
Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Nnukwara onwe m ihe ka ozi si wee bata n'ime ekwentị m fiam nwepịa ya aka fiam otu ahụ ka ego niile dị n'akaụntụ m si wee jee fiam.
Ọ bụrụ na ị bụ onye Airtel, a gara ịgwa gị tupu ị pịa ya. Ndị Airtel na-enyere aka ịmata ndị na-ezi ozi efu, bịa mee ka ndị ahịa ha mata maka ya site n'enyemaka nke AI kwadoro iji hụ na ozi efu ndị ahụ agaghị enwe ohere igbu gị wayo, anaghị akwụ ụgwọ o wee gị ndenye aha.
Biko ekuzina ana m eji sonye Airtel fiam.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Life's full of crazy moments that whisper, do you have the guts?
And when your body screams stop, but you need to go one more time, that's Dubai confidence.
Pitching a bold, out-of-the-box idea in a boardroom full of suits? That's Dubai confidence.
That nervous hand shooting up to answer a question no one else dares to tackle? That's Dubai confidence.
Reaching for that skyscraper high jump? You bet! That's Dubai confidence.
That Dubai confidence comes from wearing the Dubai antiperspirant and deodorant with 48 hours all-round protection. Dubai, own your grind. Available in stores near you.
Hello, Mandewo. Achọrọ m inye driver ahụ ego gị ka o wetere gị ya na village.
Enyela onwe gị nsogbu nwa m. Ziga ya na akaụntụ Smart Cash m.
Mama. Ya bụ na ị maara banyere Smart Cash.
Enu, ha na-enye ọtụtụ onyinye. Send ya na nọmba Airtel m.
Ọ dị mma. Mam dị sharp.
Ngwa Piazza 939# ma ọ bụ download ngwa Smart Cash ka imepe akaụntụ nke gị. Ka ị nwee ike yorie nnukwu onyinye 20,000 naira na Smart Cash. Ị ga-esite na onyinye 20,000 naira gị kwụọ ụgwọ oge ọbụla izuru oge okwu ma ọ bụ kwụọ ụgwọ ọbụla na Smart Cash. Ị ga-enwekwa ike ime transfer gaa na bank ọbụla na Nigeria. Usoro na ọnọdụ dịkwa ya.
Hello, ọ batala.
Smart Cash, Airtel kwadoro ya.
Harude, my young baby, Harude.
Hey, whoa, Mama, it's not Harude now. It's all day deodorant.
Abumo, leave me and my Harude, I beg. Is it because you dash me perfume?
Mama, not be perfume now. It's deodorant.
Eh, roll on at the talk now. See, they make me scent where. Harude.
All day, Mama, all day.
Whether na market or even church self, I go wear them. Harude. I know they fear sweat again.
All day.
Oh my little child. Now wait till you say the way go that your office now, eh? When you came,
Mama, not all day shoppers.
Whether na all day, Harude. As long as you dey buy am, I go dey use am.
Mama, you never change.
All Day Antiperspirant and Deodorant has you covered all day, whether it's market runs or office calls. Smell sweet, feel fresh and confident. Do it for you. All Day Antiperspirant and Deodorant, now available in stores near you.
Every year, a sound is released. A gathering begins. Glory Summit. The theme is High Flyers. Join us for Glory Summit 25. Great ministers of God like Dr. Elechukwu, George Izunwa, Celia Agri, Basil Ibe, Femi Odubonojo, Ugo Aparando, Annie Ikebodo, Omoso Ejindo, Promise Dennis, Papa Oma Obai, and all the great servants of the Lord, being led by Godi and Pat Okafor. Music ministers, King Solomon, Maureen Singh, Sensational Blessing, Mr. M and Revelation, GO Music, and GLGC Choir. Date 25th May to 1st June 2025. Time School of Ministries, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Miracle Rally every evening, 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. Venue Glorious Life Gospel Center, aka Bekle People Ministries International Incorporated, 2 Alex Onyado Close off Ikotemene Road, River Layout, Aba Abia State, Nigeria. Also live streaming Facebook at Glorious Life Gospel Center, YouTube at Godi Okafor. Don't miss out.
All these efforts trying to camouflage the truth and maybe try to find an excuse. I don't know anywhere. The government house that was built, started by Governor T.A. Oji and completed by Governor Okezi Ikpeazu, was designed to be a government house. And a lot of things were considered before it was penciled down as a government house environment. So for Governor T to say he was going to convert it to a 5-star hotel tells you that the governor never had any intention of living in that place. And the chief press secretary have just leaked a conversation. He has just leaked a statement that they believe that, something is there. And that is why the governor cannot go there. And you see, a governor that builds his conviction on what marabouts and juju people are saying will always take the kind of decision he is taking. I don't know anywhere in Nigeria where a governor is anywhere in the present or in the past where a governor came out and said he was going to build 6 5-star hotels. I think the one at Government House Umuahia now makes it the 6th. I don't know how many persons in Abia State have ever slept in a 5-star hotel. The governor started by saying he was going to build a 5-star hotel at Nsulu, and that was why he was acquiring 1,300 hectares of land. Now he has left that to say he is building a 5-star hotel at Waterside through a collaboration with Radisson Blu. He had already hinted of a 5-star hotel at Owaza Industrial Park. Ohafia Golf Course will also have a 5-star hotel. Werenta Hospital will also have a 5-star hotel. And you think this is a reasonable? You think that this is coming from a man who is going through a process that should be, taken serious? I can't imagine a governor promising to build 6 5-star hotels and there is nothing else he's going to do. And I don't know how this thing resonates in the mind of people, hearing our governor talk of 5-star hotel everywhere. So the truth of the matter is that it's just easy to sweep us our feet from the ground. The governor came with all the messages, he said all the beautiful things, and then he has gotten power, and now he doesn't know what to do with power. He came most unprepared. That's the summary of it, because you cannot tell me that the only solution you have for a government house that has been completed is to convert it to a 5-star hotel.
All right, Dr. Oji.
Already you are going to have another 5-star hotel in less than 20 kilometers away. You are going to have another 5-star hotel at Werenta, at Nsulu, at Umuahia. How do you reason with this kind of proposal? So I don't want to talk about that. It's most unfortunate that this is what our governor, a first-class economist, has reduced himself to. It is only those who believe in gullibility that will take this kind of proclamation serious. I don't.
All right. I do not know how you would expatiate the gullibility you're talking about. But you said you don't know what the governor has been doing with power. Does it mean the governor has not been doing anything? We've seen in this state, members of the People's Democratic Party, decamping from that party to the Labour Party, showing solidarity and allegiance to the governor. Of course, few of them who recently decamped to the Labour Party to meet the governor stated that because of what the governor has been doing in this state. How do you address this issue, Dr. Oji?
Ben, let me tell you the truth, Moses. You see, I've taken time to philosophize over what is happening in Abia because I'm not exempted from being reasonable. And I can tell you that the summary of it all is that Abia State is a battleground for values. You have the value of Jeremy Bentham fighting for the value of Niccolo Machiavelli. One believes that politics and governance should be to provide the greatest happiness for the greatest number. Another one believes that whatever you do is okay as long as you achieve your purpose. Right is right. There's nothing you do that is not right if only you achieve your aim. And they say it seems, in summary, it means that the end justifies the means. So the things we do don't matter as long as we achieve our purpose. I don't know any reasonable person that will applaud what is happening in Abia with all the resources available to Governor Oti and his poor performance. If you go to Enugu State, the man at Enugu has commissioned 7 projects. The president commissioned 7 projects. And in Anambra, the governor commissioned 5 projects. Let us leave Anambra. They have been there for more than 2 years. But the man at Enugu commissioned 7 key projects that are gigantic in dimension. And here we are celebrating just one project the president is coming to commission, if he will eventually come. You see, transformation is not just a word on our lips. It is things we see. If you go to Enugu today, there is little or no reasonable opposition because the man has shut everybody up. Even the president praised him to a fault. And the whole world is praising him. Every international conference, everything is now coming to Enugu. Enugu is now competing with Lagos. And here we saw the hype. We saw the accolades that brought in our first-class economists into government. What have we seen? You saw when Owaza was being inaugurated, was being flagged off. Owaza was being flagged off. There was no environmental impact assessment. There was no project design. There was nothing. He just went there in the midst of the bush, took some white men and a large crowd and said he was flagging off Awaza Industrial Integrated Park. And he promised to build a fertilizer plant, promised to build a modular refinery within 1 year, and promised to build a seaport. Now, 2 years down the line, what is happening at Awaza? We should ask ourselves. So when you are going to measure the performance of a governor, you should measure it. The words of Henry Ford, it resonates. He says that you don't build a reputation on what you are going to do. All these MOUs he is signing up and down is to give the impression that he had a good intention. You don't build a reputation on intention. The only way to measure the value of the only way to measure the value of a leader is through performance. And I want to believe that we have seen that Governor Oti has underperformed. Not only underperformed, he has not shown any sincerity in leadership. And that is why he can tell lies that he's building a rice field at Werenta when there is none. That's why you can hear him say he has cleared backlogs of pension when he has done nothing about it. He was forced to eat his words and bow to say that he was going to revisit the deal. Today, he is still pussyfooting. Doesn't know how to bring back the money he has already claimed and stashed away into Signature Bank. Signature Bank today was not allowed to operate when Oti came in because it had only 2 branches and insufficient paid-off capital. But today, Signature Bank here is now moving up to 24 branches.
Is that
the money coming?
Is that the reason you've just said that the governor has been stashing money?
No, there has to be a way to explain. Excuse me. There has to be a way to explain certain things because you cannot tell me that your fortune will change all overnight when you can. Then you don't want to tell me how come about it because the bank has not declared 1 kobo as profit. So where is the expansion coming from? We need to ask ourselves because we cannot just allow ourselves to continue to be blindfolded. What people don't even know is that up to 300 billion naira has accrued to Abians as local government funds. And you come from a local government if you are from Abia. We all come from different local governments. That means that billions have accrued to us in our various local governments through the federation account. And what have we seen on ground? This is a man who told us that those using TC chairmen to run local governments are fraudulent leaders. That under his watch, he's good to use. He likes using that term. Under my watch, there will be nothing like TC chairman. But he single-handedly governed the state and also became the 17 local government chairman at the same time for 6 months. And thereafter, he appointed his mayors. And these are TC men. And you see, the most important thing in governance is integrity. Integrity is holding on to your words and proving to people that you did not come out to deceive them in the first place. So it is against this background that I find it difficult to align with those who say they are decamping to a Labour Party. They are choosing Oti. I choose Oti. How can you say that when you know that this man is corruption personified? And I dare say it. Earlier on, I have challenged the governor to an open debate, and I will prove to the world that he has, with evidence, stolen not less than 200 billion from Abia resources.
Don't you think,
through non-existent projects?
Dr. Orji, don't you think this is a high-level aspect of allegation you are placing this morning on the governor?
But I'm not. I'm in Abia. I'm not from overseas. I'm talking in Abia, and I want to hold myself responsible for what I've said. Right. If the governor can prove where the 7 billion naira he used in building recreational facilities are, he can prove all these ICT centers that are being built in the air. He can prove where we have the proved agriculturists. In fact, we should be getting angry in Abia that we are condoning this kind of rascality in governance. I call it rascality because we are all being taken for a ride. For us to continue to keep quiet is just because the man have seen that we lack the ability to really fight for good governance. Because if we have that ability, you can't do this in the Southwest. What is happening in Abia is most unconscionable. I am telling you the truth. If you are not angry, I am, because I know that Abia is going down the drain. If you look at the kind of development that is happening in other places and you see the way propaganda is dominating Abia, you should be angry. I have every respect for a governor, but I expect a governor to live up to that respect. He is our standard bearer. For a governor to be telling lies like a common criminal doesn't speak well of his reputation.
All right, Dr. Orji, let us handle this question before we open our phone lines this morning. The Forum of Permanent Secretaries retired from the Abia State Civil Service in 2023 did express their gratitude to the governor for constant payments of their pension, but also has drew the attention of the governor to the claim that the government has settled the retirement entitlements of these retired permanent secretaries. Let us have your reaction to this development.
Okay, there's nothing new to say here. The truth is that our governor is fond of making unguarded statements, if I may use that less pejorative term. He makes these statements and he thinks that, we will be cowed by the fact that he's just a governor and then we refuse to respond. There are so many things our governor have said that are blatant lies, bare-faced lies, but he will say it, he look at you in the face and with hands akimbo, and he continues, and that's what I call sleaze pride. The governor has not paid any arrears to the permanent secretaries. He has not settled anything, but he goes to the public to say it, and yet he wants them to keep quiet. It's good that they are responding. It's good that they're saying it. A lot of people are dying in silence in Niger State because they don't want to come out to say the truth about their situation and condition. The governor is riding roughshod over our people, and unfortunately, I was brought up in the Southwest. The kind of mentality I see in Abia is against my culture and upbringing. I'm surprised at the kind of thing I see in Abia, and it makes me look down on a lot of people, frankly speaking. So it is good that they are complaining because you would never have known. The same way with the workers at Abia State Teaching Hospital, the same with the pensioners at Abia State University. The list is endless. Just recently, you saw the people of School of Health Technology. You saw their complaint yesterday, their press release. They are giving an ultimatum to go on strike. So the thing is everywhere. And the problem is that so much money is accruing to this government and we are seeing little value for money. And that is just the bottom line of it. And unless this issue is addressed, we will continue to complain quietly. Right. But that is not the way I am built. I'm not in that mood.
Let's get to our phone lines this morning. You've just got 50 seconds to make your input. 091600965 or 09160333965. This is Abia Democrat. You're welcome to the program. Right, we lost connection with that caller. 091600965 or 09160333965. You can as well put down your message for us on the number 09160333965. Welcome to Abia Democrat.
Morning, Moses Ben.
Good morning, sir. Your name and location, please.
I'm Okafor Chinedu. I'm calling from Umahi.
Okafor, welcome.
Morning to our guests in the house. Morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Let me say this. Rome was not built in a day. All these are our guests have mentioned here. I really share from his point of view. But nevertheless, we have been in this state when salaries were not paid and nothing happened. We have been in this state seeing every form of infrastructural development being dilapidated and nothing happened. Now we have seen the light and we are moving with the. Let me tell you this.
All right, Okafor, be running off your thoughts. Your time is running out.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you.
There is no how we can assess this government until this government is over. We can only compare this government with the new government that will come.
All right, Okafor. Thank you. Please keep it within 50 seconds so we can accommodate more calls. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome. Your name and location, please.
My name is Mr. Fan. Wake up, head of Pono.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Clearly. Welcome.
Yes. I believe we are Abia Democrat.
Yes, this is Abia Democrat.
Yeah. I have to thank Dr. Oji for that area of he applauded Governor Oti. Yes, thank you. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, please go ahead. We are listening to you.
Oh, yeah. Please let me drop my text, then I can answer questions. Yeah. Well, you said something good, on that refuse evacuation and the Port Harcourt Road and more. Let the billions be spent as long as I'm concerned. Then,
all right, sir. Your time is up. Let's dwell and make use of our 50 seconds, please, so that we can accommodate other listeners this morning. It's good to have you join the program. Your name and location, please.
Good morning, Moses.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning again, sir. Dr. Moses.
Just go ahead, please.
Usema knows the name. I'm calling from Umaya. I want to thank him for being a progressive champion. In as much as I still acknowledge what the few works the governor is doing and Governor Dr. Alex Otti is doing in the state, but does it commensurate with the amount of money that they have received? It percentage that the government of the day has gotten over 700 billion, and we are seeing clapping hands when Port Harcourt will be flagged off. Your fellow governor is using 30 billion naira to build 19.7 kilometer roads with 7 bridges. With 7 billion later, in Abia is 36, just 5.9 kilometer roads. It's very, very outrageous. What we are saying is that governor promised a lot when he was campaigning. He told us about transparency and accountability. This is what Abias are demanding for. Nobody hates the governor, not for him. But what we are seeing is we are standing on the ground, what he did. People like us who are the progressive Abia, he did it to pass administration. So if you criticize constructively what he is not getting it right, my brother.
All right, thank you, Usema. Thank you. We appreciate your contribution, Usema. Dr. Orji, we are running off the program at this point. Just in 10 seconds, let's have your last word on this program.
I think I thank the people who have spoken, but I just want somebody to know that you cannot measure the past. You cannot measure the present with the yardstick of the past.
All right.
The end of money that I accrued to governors, none of them got up to 5 billion a month.
All right.
Before, whether you are of TALG, or Jews or Cal, none got up to 5 billion. Today, our governor is getting over 21 billion a month. You see, you cannot measure the present with the yardstick of the past. And let me also say this. Finally, the most important thing is that you may hate me, you may like me when you see me, but don't hate the truth. The truth is that we must hold governors accountable, not just our governor. We must hold government accountable to tell us how they are spending our money. Accountability is the key. When you don't tell us the cost of projects and you want to survive on propaganda, you are not helping the state. No.
Our public affairs analyst, Dr. Moses Orji, we appreciate your time on Abia Democrats today. All right, thank you so much. The program will return next week, Friday. My name is Moses Ben. Good morning.
Ka m jukene gị ihe kedu ihe na-egbochi gị mgbe ị na-eteta n'ụtụtụ ọbụla ọ bụ na ị maghị otu ụbọchị gị ga-esi wee je na ụbọchị na-aga gịnị na-eme ka obi gị na-agba ọsọ ọ bụ egwu na ị naghị eme nke ọma mgbe o ruru mgbede ọ bụ oge ntakịrị ọzọ na-agụsị gị agụ ike ihe ọbụla ọ bụ chetakwa na ọnwụnwa na nsogbu anaghị akọwa gị kama otu isi wee bilie imeri ha iji kọọ na ihe ị kwenyere na ya otu ahụ ka ihe esi wee nwere onwe gị